Shoppers across the Northland helped raise a record-breaking amount of money for the American Heart Association. A check for over $93,000 presented to their group earlier today. Super One provided customers the opportunity to donate by rounding up or by making a donation. The Heart Association's director says even a 25% or 25-cent donation, that is, can add up and make a difference.
That we do is game-changing because of this campaign. A lot of the work that we do takes place without people really seeing it. It's education, it's awareness, it is CPR training. We are in schools.
This is a campaign that Super One does in partnership with the association once per year. Johnson also says that they estimate that for every $50, they can help save someone's life. That is because it's about that much, how it costs that much, that is, to train someone on CPR.